Alright, let's do some shot practice, shall we? So I have my container here. This white piece my dad actually made for me out of a pipe. This is called a quiver, commonly done at archery tournaments too. They just use a pipe, cut it to fit properly. I have about 25 arrows here. At tournaments, you'll only have 5 arrows, an extra 6 that your coach holds, just in case an arrow bounces out, breaks, or doesn't feel right to you. You can raise your hand and ask your coach for your extra arrow. So, holding my bow again, putting that palm right there so it's resting, but okay, I'm going to take this here. Taking this here, I'm going to, again, wrap my thumb around it, then wrap my other, I choose to do my ring finger, just feels right to me. So it's all locked in there. See? Not hitting too far back. Okay, I do have my target down there, so I'm not hitting anything random, I'm not hitting anything that would hurt, and like I said before, make sure you have a parent or guardian watching you, because like I said, this could get dangerous. I've been doing this for years, that's the reason I've been able to do this. So I have my target down here. I am faced a little more forward, so this is probably about 13 meters. I'm going to take one of my practice arrows. White piece is always towards yourself or the odd one out. Now, pulling back, 3 fingers under, you're going to pull and rest right here. This is called an anchor point. When pulling back your fingers, you rest at a certain point in your mouth that feels comfortable. I tend to do it right around here, pressing slightly up. Some people actually choose to go farther above your cheek to your cheekbone. I've actually seen people have it at an angle, but it's most commonly done as I do, pushed right here. So, as I pull back, I'm at my anchor point. And we release. Notice how when I released back, my fingers slid off. They did not pull out the string. They did not flick the string. That's also a big part. When you're releasing your arrow, a big part of it is not to make the string in a sort of fling, or else your arrow will say what it's doing. When releasing, if I release and I let go that way, I release it out, this arrow and string are going to wobble in a direction like this, making it not possible to get a good score. Your point is not at your fate, it is what you did with the string. So, we're going to do one more, and then I'm going to show you another thing that I'm doing, if you watch. That's the part I wanted to show you. When I'm releasing, it's naturally coming back with the tension I pull and rising back up because I'm gripping it. I know before I said do not grip your bow, but when releasing it and come back, it might hit you in the face, so you grip it so it doesn't. That's the only time you should be gripping your bow in any sort of way. Let's do one more, and then I'm going to go over and show you the face. Actually, I can show you right here. I have my project in the back here. Okay, so now that I did a few arrows, and you kind of saw how it looks when you release, obviously I was quiet as well. It's kind of like golf, where the audience tends to be quiet for concentration. I know a lot of archers as well that right before they shoot, they might count in their head, do some kind of song to go along, because it's all about making yourself comfortable and feeling okay with the situation. There's a person right in front of you, right behind you, very close together. It is uncomfortable, and it seems that everyone is watching you. A big thing I learned that is, this is my moment with the target. This is not my moment with the people. If I screw up, that's on me. That's not the people's fault. That's kind of what I work on. It definitely takes some courage, and after a while, you become more comfortable with it. Okay. Now, I'm going to take off my glove because I don't need that anymore, my finger loop, and arm guard. Now we're going to talk about a target phase. This actually was during a tournament. I ended up shooting alone, which doesn't happen. You always shoot with someone so they can score you. And I'm going to explain score to you now. This yellow, of course, best spot to hit. They always say bullseye, middle of the target, best spot. This is where most of my shots are actually. There are a few down here, but these were practice rounds. I'll explain those too. So, with the target center here, this is obviously, you can see the black ring around here. 10, center, best thing you can get. I actually had a person on my team at a tournament get 300, which is the highest score you can possibly get. Meaning every single time his arrow hit in this center spot. When you're far away, it seems very small, but up close, it actually is a good size and good grouping. This next layer, of course, is a 9. Second best you can get, nothing wrong with that. It's always nice to be in the yellow. That's always people's goals, is get in the yellow. This next layer, 8. Then 7, 6, 5, 4. This black spot is 4 here. The outer black is 3. Then 2. This big white area here. And finally 1. If you hit around here, here, any spot below the 1 or around it, it counts as a 0. Or of course, if you hit off the target, above your target, it is a 0. Now, when shooting though, if you happen to have your arrow and it punctures and bounces out. With older targets that tend to get worn, I can actually show you my target over there when it's worn, it has this moment where it is not as stiff as it used to be, bounces right out, lands on the floor. It does not count as a 10, even though it hit the 10. It cannot be confirmed by your partner or any coaches, even if they're watching, that it was a solid a 10. Because if you landed on this line right here, if you landed on one of these black lines here, it's always the higher number up. So, if I'm right on this line, right here at what looks like an 8, it is actually a 9 because I'm right on the line. So, anyway, once it bounces out, and it's just laying on the ground, that's where that special 6 arrow comes in. Raise your hand, coach can see that obviously fell on the floor, somehow get another arrow, shoot again. There is a difference, though, from a bounce out to a hit and land. This part here, which is just my wall, what would have been the bottom face of the target, this would include wheels and just an extra spot that doesn't have a target on it. If it hits here and lands on the ground, it is a 0 no matter what. You can't get your arrow back. So, just like all other sports, lots of stuff going on, strategy, taking time to learn, lots of materials depending on what kind of archer you are. But it really is something that's super fun, and yeah, definitely try it, with help from an adult, of course. Thank you for coming and watching.